Well, good morning, everyone, and welcome. My name is Michael Woodward. I am the Fire Chief for Titusville Fire and Emergency Services. I am truly honored and blessed today to be standing here as we conduct the ribbon-cutting ceremony for our new state-of-the-art, live fire-capable, 4-story fire training facility. Before we begin, I would like for our fire department chaplain, Chaplain John Wright, to come up and provide an invocation and a blessing over our new tower.
Let us pray. Father, we thank you for the opportunity that presents itself this morning and everything that it represents. We thank you for your protection. We ask that you bless this facility, that it is used for its intended purpose, that it would preserve lives and provide training. Lord, we ask this in your nature. In the name of Jesus, amen.
Thank you, sir. At this time, I'd like to take time to recognize some of our dignitaries that came out today to help us celebrate this special occasion. We have our very own Mayor Jim Tully, Vice Mayor Mr. Walt Johnson, Council Member Miss Martha Long. Our other council members were not able to attend today due to working, but we have our esteemed City Manager Mr. Scott Larice, our Assistant City Manager, Mr. Tom Abate. Our Economic Development Director, Ms. Peggy Busaka, who had a part to do with this. HR Director, Mr. Joe DeNero. Our Police Chief, Titusville Police Chief, Mr. John Lau. Our Deputy Police Chief, Mr. Tom Berry. Commander with Titusville Police Department, Todd Hutchinson. And as you can see, numerous other members of the Titusville Police Department as we all work together to provide a safe community for the citizens that reside. In addition to our city employees, we also have Rockledge's Fire Chief Tim Matson present and his Battalion Chief, Mr. Ed Seifert. They're also going to be participating with us next week when we conduct some live training classes. In addition, we've got a couple of our prior members, alumni with City of Titusville. We got Lieutenants Mon Abelhassan and Lee Skinner with Melbourne Fire Department present. Battalion Chief Jeff Money with Brevard County Fire is also present, along with all of our on-duty and a lot of our off-duty personnel. Goes to show you just how important this facility is to our people. So with that, I'd like to ask Mayor Tully to come up and say a few words.
Thank you, Chief. This is pretty exciting, isn't it? There was a book written some years ago that was very popular in its time. It was written by Dr. Stephen Covey called The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. I think some of those habits apply to organizations as well, and we, of course, have a very highly effective fire department here. But if you read the book, you'll know that one of those habits was called sharpening the saw. And what that means is you don't be an effective organization just by doing what you do. You have to be constantly trying to get better. And in order to get better, you need the tools and training things and, in many cases, training devices. And one heck of a training device, isn't it? The city manager tells me that you firefighters are pretty excited about this thing. I can see why. It's just a great thing for our fire department. I know you'll put it to great use. I'm sure the police department will probably want to use it too. It's a big toy, isn't it? But it's a toy for the right reasons. And it's just going to be a great thing for our city. It'll keep that firefighting and police saw super sharp, and maybe you'll be able to use it for some of the other communities here in Brevard County to help them keep their saw sharp. So great job, City Manager. Thanks for keeping this moving along. And Chief, we look forward to seeing more about it, hearing more about it. Thank you.
Thank you, Mayor. What started as a true vision and a need during the 2014 budget process today has become a reality for us. Being classified as an all-hazards response fire department, when someone within our community calls 911, no matter the emergency, our firefighters need to be prepared to respond and safely mitigate any situation that may present. One primary way that we can assure the safety of our personnel and the citizens we respond to comes through regular, recurring hands-on training. During pretty much any situation, the firefighters need to be able to know instinctively, without a doubt, and perform flawlessly during the most stressful situations, many times in low or zero visibility, and this is achieved through the use of and reliance on training and muscle memory. Muscle memory is achieved through regular, repetitive, hands-on training, which is what we are now going to be able to provide to our personnel. Some of the training capabilities we will now be able to provide are controlled, hands-on live fire training, reduced or zero visibility search and rescue training, high-angle rescue and rappelling training,
Fire 2, can we get an update on time here?
rapid intervention or mayday training, firefighter survival training, fire ground tactics and incident command training, fire hydraulics, water supply, and fire stream training, new hire physical agility testing, which subsequently occurred earlier this week for the first time, utilizing our new training facility, practical hands-on promotional assessment testing, police department tactical training, and possible partnerships with other agencies for North Brevard as a fire training site. Many may not know this if you're not involved in the fire service, but the nearest training facility for us, for Titusville, is down in Port Canaveral, and the newest fire training facility is down in Melbourne and Palm Bay area. So there's really nothing up in the north end for us to train on until today. One of the first trainings we will conduct will occur next week as we are hosting a 40-hour live fire training instructor class involving 12 of our department personnel and 8 personnel from other local fire departments, Rockledge included. This will allow us to conduct live fire training for our department personnel utilizing our own certified personnel as instructors. The training facility behind me represents the culmination of efforts of many people, including but not limited to our city manager, Scott Larice, who supported this venture since the beginning, our finance director, Ms. Bridget Clements, who helped make the funding process go extremely smooth through all the contracting, Mr. Kevin Cook, our public works director, and Ms. Amber Furlan, our public works project engineer, who were both the city's project managers and oversaw the construction of our training facility, along with all the public works staff and team members that assisted with site clearing and prep work for the property. Gary Stepelovich, our building official, and his team with the building department who handled all the permitting requirements for this facility. Sean Stouffer, our water resources director, and his field ops team for providing the needed water supply requirements via the 2 fire hydrants you see located on our property that provide us the needed fire flow for doing live fire training. Mr. Jesus Vierjo, our city purchasing and contracting administrator, and his team for working with WHP and the other outside contractors to ensure they met all the city contractual requirements to perform work that was needed. Chiefs Lindquist and Sutton for working diligently with Joe Kirshner and the other WHP staff, job foremans, and crews that were constructing our facility, and they came out almost every day to inspect every aspect of the construction of this project to ensure that we were getting the very best product that our money could buy for not only our personnel but also our citizens. And last but not least, I'd like to thank our esteemed mayor, Mr. Jim Tully, Vice Mayor Walt Johnson, council members, Ms. Martha Long, Rita Pritchett, and Mr. Matt Behringer, who all unanimously supported this much-needed training facility from the beginning when it was presented to them. On behalf of the Titusville Fire and Emergency Services Department, we thank all that have had a hand in bringing this project together. Let's now proceed with a ribbon cutting so our personnel can start training in this wonderful facility. So at this time, I'd like to ask all the members of council, all the members of the city that had anything to do with this, along with all of our personnel and police department, to come up and participate in this ribbon cutting event. Now for the fun part. During the last year, in preparation for our new training facility, 8 department personnel obtained their Florida Urban Search and Rescue Technician certifications in rope rescue. Today, demonstrating some of our rope rescue capabilities, we have driver-operator John Hustoles, who is one of our certified rope technicians. In addition to the 8 personnel, in the near future we will be certifying all of our combat personnel in rope operations as well. This is just one of the many classes that we're going to be conducting within this facility. For those of y'all that have lived within the city for a number of years, you may not think about this, but over the past 20 years, we've seen an influx and an increase in the amount of 3-story high-rise buildings or taller that we have within our community. Over 20 years ago, we had 9, and today we're looking at 56 buildings within the city of Titusville that are 3 stories or taller. So this capability that we're now providing within our community is going to greatly provide a benefit to us. Many uses for this in regards if we have a fire situation, we're able to enact rescues, we're able to in addition to the rope rescue capabilities. Last year, of the 203 fire calls our department responded to, 57 of those calls were actual structure fires within our community. Our crews need to know instinctively what to do when live fires and lives are at stake. This scenario that you're about to witness portrays a typical multi-story structure fire response involving a potential trap victim. And as you see over to my left is Engine 12. They're our first arriving engine company.
Smoke shown from the outside, Division 1 and 2. 4-1 to the front line. Establishing command, we'll advise further, that's 360. Titusville, Titusville.
Through regular training, our personnel know what steps they need to accomplish in order to achieve success in dealing with the unknown of a structure fire and who, if any, victims may be trapped inside.
I-11 command.
What you're seeing now is our company officer, the lieutenant on the truck, just performed a 360. He walks around and does a visual of the entire structure as his 2 firefighters prepare and deploy a hose line to the front door so they can gain access. Our incident commander arrives on scene to establish command and conduct all the activities of all the incoming crews.
I'm on command, I'll take command. Welcome. Truck 13 command arriving on scene assignment. Truck 13 in his established aerial operations rooftop division. Copy, aerial ops, Bravo side.
Our ladder truck responds to all of our multi-story incidents within the city as well to provide access to rooftops and above ground floor level operations that may be needed.
Copy, preparing to make entry. Give me a pour on entry. Utilities secured. Command 9011. We have a report of a possible victim inside.
Copy. You're supposed to pass through. You're ready to search.
Copy, making entry.
So now at this time, what the crews will do, knowing that there's a possible victim inside, is they're going to systematically perform a right-handed search or a left-handed search, depending on what the lieutenant dictates to his crew members, but they'll systematically search every room in the house until they locate a victim, or they can verify that there are no victims inside the house. In addition to locating a victim, which is our number one priority, they're also going to try and find the seat of the fire so they can start extinguishing. And in many cases, on many fires, there's little to no visibility inside once the firefighters enter that room or enter the building. The on-scene incident commander is given direction for the ladder company to go ahead and make access to the roof so they can perform vertical ventilation. And that's what you see our ladder company performing as we speak.
Command ID 11, give me a report.
This area, we have heavy smoke conditions. Still searching of the hose line.
Understood, heavy smoke conditions.
Ready for ventilation. We got one on fire.
One thing that we train on
Water on the
is,
fire.
okay, they've located the seat of the fire.
That's fine.
Command copies, Titusville, copy, water on the fire.
Our firefighters train regularly on being able to operate and know what to do in zero visibility situations.
Command ID 11.
11, go.
Give me a thorough primary. Still have a report of a victim inside.
Copy, still searching. Advise when ventilation is complete.
Command copies, will advise.
We've got our fire personnel advancing up the aerial ladder now to gain access to the roof so they can perform vertical ventilation. Everybody on a fire ground knows what their responsibility is, and they all work systematically to ensure that everybody is safe and all the dangers of this situation are resolved.
Copy, roof's good.
Firefighters sound off on the roof to make sure it's stable for them before they gain access to it, and then they go up onto the roof.
Command interior. Should have ventilation here in a moment.
Copy. Crossing quadrant 1, 2. Starting searching quadrant 3.
Our interior crews have advanced to the third floor now.
Repeat, roof.
And in most cases, most of our roofs that we respond to are wood frame in nature with shingles, and we utilize chainsaws to cut holes in the roof for vertical ventilation to allow the hot gases to escape so the firefighters it increases their visibility inside the structure.
Command copies ventilation. Command interior, roof's been ventilated.
I-11 command copy. We located one victim in quadrant 4. We'll be exiting the structure.
Command copies. Located one victim. Preparing to exit.
Appears the interior crew has located a victim, and they're now in the process of trying to get that victim out of the structure.
I-11 command.
Go.
Exit structure part 2 with a victim.
Copy that. Where's your third?
I know we lost him during...
One thing that a firefighter hopes they never have to do
Understood.
in any kind of an emergency is to call a mayday.
Time. Route division, give me a
This
call.
is the call when conditions change for the worse, and a firefighter is lost or trapped and has to overcome significant odds to protect his or her own life and the life of their crew members or the victims. One crucial piece of equipment that we were fortunate enough to incorporate into our new bunker gear purchase this past year was a Sterling personal escape device kit. This kit, which is contained within the firefighter's bunker gear, contains 50 foot of rope, a hook, and a descender device that will allow them to escape from a window above ground floor level as a last resort if they become trapped or lost and their primary means of exit is through a window. Demonstrating the capabilities of this new device in our bunker gear is going to be Lieutenant Matt Johnson, who is also one of our certified rope technicians.
Span ID 11. I need you alpha side, third floor. Firefighter preparing to bail out.
Everything you see him utilizing to descend down this, out of this third-story window, is contained within his bunker gear.
Command ID 11. Command ID 11.
Gives us further assurance that
Bailed out.
we will not lose any firefighters or personnel within a house fire.
Matt, come off there. Just hang out there.
What was demonstrated today is just scratching the surface of some of the capabilities of our new training facility and the high level of training we are able to provide to our personnel. I wake up every day and thank the Lord how humbling it is to work with such a wonderful group of dedicated people that together are working and training extremely hard to make the city of Titusville the best city on the Space Coast. I look forward to many years of training to come with the personnel within our department and other agencies. I would like to thank everyone that came out today to participate in our event and view some of the capabilities of our new training facility. And I would like to welcome everyone to take time now to look around and tour our new facility as you get, and also get to know our personnel and our firefighters. Thank you all for coming and have a blessed day.